Hi folks, Joseph Kursky here with you, exploring the connections between geographic information systems, Earth Day, and environmental studies and management. We're on our 9th reason now. 9th, GIS through environmental studies adheres to the tenet that learning is often most effective when it takes place outdoors. Fieldwork has such a long and rich history within environmental studies that it is almost like stating the obvious. However, in a world where outdoor education is often cut due to budgetary constraints, and when a frighteningly large proportion of the population has almost no connection with the outdoors, it bears emphasizing. In environmental studies, the offices of many educators are actually in the field, in nature centers, museums, parks, wildlife reserves, etc. In the field, students can collect data on a myriad of phenomena, such as tree species, water quality, weather, soil chemistry, birds, and more. In so doing, they gain a better understanding of processes, scale, and the environment in a way they might not be able to in the classroom. They can sketch, record video, take photographs, use probes, or simply use their 5 senses. Beyond data collection, they develop an appreciation for the balance of nature, or the unbalance, depending on where they are, and the connectedness of the hydrosphere, atmosphere, lithosphere, and biosphere. Studies show that if students do not receive repeated and deep immersion in natural places while young, they will not value nor appreciate natural places nor their associated environmental processes or issues as adult decision makers. And that leads to the final point. 10. Given the widespread environmental concerns faced by the modern world, it is imperative that students study and understand about these issues, not only to equip them for life in the 21st century, but to ensure that we emerge at the end of the 21st century in a sustainable way. How can we expect decision makers to care about the planet unless they have learned about the planet as students? And how can they learn about the planet unless they study the environment and use GIS in doing so as students? Now let's explore a few resources that connect GIS to Earth Day and environmental education and management. For example, ESRI, the organization I work for, Environmental Systems Research Institute, develops and connects educators to resources that enable the effective use of GIS in environmental education. Many of these resources, such as lessons, data sets, and tools, can be accessed on esri.com. For example, I have a whole set of wind energy and other environmental activities there in the Learn GIS library and also in Spatial Labs. These are 2 libraries of educational activities. There's also something called the North American Environmental Atlas, just one of many, many web mapping applications that organizations have built using web-based geographic information systems. One of the most useful continent-wide spatial data environmental related resources is this North American Environmental Atlas. It contains data on watersheds, ecoregions, human impact on protected areas, industrial pollution, wetlands, land cover, conservation areas, and base layers including transportation, waterways, and cities. It also contains layers on species of common conservation concerns such as the burrowing owl, the mountain plover, and the American black bear. The atlas was born from a collaboration among the national mapping agencies of Canada, the United States, and Mexico, and through the Commission for Environmental Cooperation. Its goal is to provide a foundation to analyze the status of environmental conditions and identify trends across the whole continent. I also have a whole series of how to bring in field data into a geographic information system, a series of videos that might be helpful on this same channel. Let's just close with a couple of comments about the importance of outdoor education and studying the environment. You know, we laugh at the scene in the movie Vacation where Chevy Chase's family finally arrives at the rim of the Grand Canyon. Okay, here we are. Snap a few photos. Next. Before getting back into the car and driving to their next destination. Yet how much of our fieldwork is brief and limited to just a few of the 5 senses? Events such as Earth Day and Geography Awareness Week provide an annual reminder to all of us that, hey, fieldwork is critical to what the geography education and environmental education communities believe in, advocates, and analyzes. Nowadays, we have so many map, video, and data resources along with GIS tools at our fingertips that it's tempting to think we can kind of get by without doing any field work at all. Indeed, in these days of educational funding constraints, when fieldwork involves high costs, permissions, and effort, these resources are extremely welcomed and valued. The importance of fieldwork goes far beyond the environmental or geography education communities. Sobel's Beyond Ecophobia, Reclaiming the Heart in Nature Education book, 1996, makes it clear that children are disconnected from the world outdoors, and yet as never before connected with endangered animals and ecosystems around the world through electronic media. He states that essential to helping students to understand environmental issues in distant lands is to cultivate connections to the local environment by teaching about local systems. What's important is that children have an opportunity to bond with the natural world, to learn to love it, before being asked to heal its wounds. This can be done through his stages of empathy, exploration, and social action. His statements such as authentic environmental commitment emerges out of first-hand experiences with real places on a small, manageable scale are expanded in his book, Place-Based Education, Connecting Classrooms and Communities. These ideas were brought to the attention of additional educators and the general public, I might add, by Richard Louv in his compelling book, Last Child in the Woods. Even if students can't get away from campus, they can still collect data right in their own schoolyard or school grounds. Dr. Herb Broda's book series, starting with Schoolyard Enhanced Learning, provides excellent ideas on how to do just that. So, to support your continued advocacy for fieldwork in your own educational institution, I've created a video entitled, Why is Fieldwork Important?, that you might want to check out. Using these resources, educators can make every day an Earth Day in terms of exciting their students about the importance of observing the world around them. Thanks.